Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of crafting done today. I got a ton of crafting done today. I literally have almost prepared Saturday's card class kits for everybody. I'm working on the very last one, and I really tried to finish today, but there's always tomorrow. I will finish tomorrow morning before I go have another birthday lunch with my girlfriend Heather in Scottsdale. So that was my busy day. And both grandkids, both grandsons, Lucas and Carson, both had an event going on today. So I had to go to one and Bo had to go to the other. Of course, they happen on the same day at the same exact time. But we both were able to show pictures of each other's little thing that we did. If you're friends with me on my personal Facebook, I was able to post Carson's. He has been doing swim lessons for the last probably 6-ish weeks, and today he pretty much graduated. He is going to go for another week or so, but he's doing so good, and I am definitely so proud. And Lucas had his fall festival at his school, so yes, it was a crazy busy day, but very enjoyable. Hopefully your guys's was as well. So before we get crafting, there's a few little tidbits. I emailed out earlier this afternoon the 2026 desktop calendar. This was the one that we did for last year. I do have a handful of them left from last year. I think there's 8 total. So if you want this, you definitely still can get it. Or if you want the new one that I have designed for 2026, that one is available as well. I will do an in-person event. I believe it's December 15th, and then all of the kits will go out in the mail after that. And then speaking of kits, I have a very luxurious box that I am launching on Saturday. It is actually all ready and prepared and prepped for the email to go out any day. But there's a couple emails that are already scheduled to go out, so I don't want to bombard everybody with a million emails. So I won't send it out until Saturday morning. But it is called the Luxe Box by Creating with Sarah, made by me. And it is just going to be a fun-filled pack of amazingness. And the PDF and the videos will come with it. So I am super excited to step out on my own and do my own luxurious box. But it is called the Luxe Box. So definitely check your emails for that. And if you don't get my emails, definitely hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on things that are happening in the studio. And my flowers are still going strong. They are absolutely beautiful and I love the smell. I think I want flowers in my studio every single day of the year. I love walking in and seeing them. Okay, I think that's it. Let's point you over. Hello, Debbie. Thank you. I'm so excited. You were my very first one. Okay, so today's project is a little wonky, but it is so cute. And I'm excited to show you a little bit of my wonkiness. But I decided to bring in the Gingerbread Man stamp set and dies. So I am missing quite a few of the stamps that go in here, but we're using them in card class on Saturday, so they are already attached to their blocks. But it is such a fun and cute set. We are using the sugar and spice and everything nice. And then I brought in these little dogs, little doodads. Not sure what they are, but I brought those in as well. So I'm only using those 2 images for this card. And I'm only actually using one of the dies, which is a little crazy. I'm using this die. You can actually see that I already have paper stuck in here. Oops. There are 2 pieces of paper stuck in there. So when you're die cutting, there's 2 of them that are like this. So when you're die cutting both of these, you unfortunately have to run this in your basic white, and then if you're going to do a green candy cane, you want to use one of our greens, or if you're going to do red, you can use the real red. So you do have to run it twice. So you're going to get one in white and one in red. You can kind of just put your paper where you want it, but it's just easier just to die cut them both. And the same with this little doodad. You do have to run it through once in your white for the sucker, and then whatever color you are using for the candy. So that's just a little tidbit on those. Let me put this back in. I feel like my volume is on my iPad, and I think it was just a smidgen. I could hear a little echo. And then I brought in the branching out dies. So originally I wanted to use the smallest and the next size. So I cut the smallest in basic white and then the next size up in Crumb Cake, but I ended up only using the Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to do my stamping and fussy cutting on the piece that I had already cut. So you really only need the second for the piece of Crumb Cake. Okay, so that's all the products. Oh, I did forget the designer series paper and the ribbon. So I'm using the Christmas tags and more. And I actually did this for a retreat make and take. And oh, you know what? I do have a full sheet. So this is the side that I used for one of the one of the pillow gifts for the retreat. And this is the piece that actually got cut off of it. And I saved them because I am a scrap hoarder. I say that, and this is what I'm using for the bottom of the card. So I'm really not a hoarder because I am putting it to good use. So if you are just going to trim this off, it's at 2 inches. So just to let you know, that piece is at 2 by 5 1/4. And I did put in all of the measurements before I went live. But this is the fun card we're going to be making. Just a little something fun and cute, and I love the colors. Anything in pink or Petunia Pop is right up my alley. But unfortunately, I do have to throw this card away after the Facebook Live. I'll be able to keep, cross your fingers, the ones that we make tonight. But I don't know if you can see, but I dropped this entire layer that had the green glue on the back. I dropped it on the card and it got glue everywhere. I still am using it for my Facebook Live, but it's going to have to be filed when I'm done. I was very sad, very annoyed. Okay, let's get started crafting. So I have a piece of Crumb Cake. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it right in half at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold this in half, give it a nice good crease, and we can set that aside. So now we're going to work with a piece of our basic white. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I have my designer series paper that is 2 inches by 5 1/4. So we're literally just going to layer these pieces together. And I already die cut our lollipops. I did 3 in basic white, and then I did the toppers in Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, and Pretty in Pink. So those are the 3 colors that I decided to do. And when I was creating this card, I felt like there was a little too much just plain white at the top. So that's why I brought in that little doodad to do a little bit of stamping. But I did it after it was assembled, so we're going to stamp it before I start to assemble. And at this time, we are going, I already did one in Petunia Pop, so let's do one in Summer Splash. So there is that. Let me see if I have my silicone mat, which I don't. I know exactly where it's at. It's in the house on the kitchen table because I was using it to color. So I'm just going to bring in a piece of grid paper. So I have my little dots, and I'm going to ink this up in Summer Splash. And I really didn't stamp off on my original card, and it was only because I didn't stamp until it was already put together. So I didn't want to go super crazy on these little splatters. But now that we learn from my mistakes, we can go ahead and do them ahead of time. So I do want the piece underneath. Sorry, it's hard to talk and get my words when I am trying to concentrate. Okay, that looks pretty good. And while I have the ink out, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp my sentiments. Sugar and spice and everything nice. Perfect. And let's get this out of the way. This piece is going to go right across the bottom. It's a super easy card. I will not lie. It looks like it's a little complicating, but it's really not. Oh man. Probably just need to throw that one away. I think that's the one that gives me trouble every single time. So I'm gluing this down. Perfect. And now we can grab our ribbon, grab our mini glue dots. I'm going to wrap this around. Grab your paper snips, snip that end off, and then we can glue this one down. Perfect. And now we can glue this to our card base. I always like to try to make sure to get the Tombow on the end of the glue, or the end of the end of the ribbon, just to make sure it is not going to go anywhere. Okay, perfect. Now this is the little trick that I found is I put the sentiment on before I added the candy and that layer. I actually just think I just laid it on. I only did this a couple hours ago. One would think I would remember. So we're going to fussy cut. And I should have fussy cut the other one beforehand, but I didn't. I was tying bows. Did you guys know that there is a lady who runs a fussy cut event? It's all about fussy cutting. I have no idea where I found her online, but she just got done having a retreat, and she calls them the fussy cut retreats. Could you imagine having to fussy cut everything? I don't mind some things. Not everything, though. Okay. Oof. Okay, so I'm going to put this right at the bottom. So then when we go to glue on our candy popsicles, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. Okay, so our first one is going to go in the center up towards the top. And then these ones are going to go kind of close. And then this one is going to go on this side. Perfect. Now we can flip this over, trim these pieces off. And this is what happened. Hopefully I don't do it. When I was gluing this down, it fell out of my hand and landed right on top of the card base. So that's why I have to throw the other one away. So this just kind of gives it a little bit of a guide so you know where to put this piece. Perfect. Now we can grab some more mini glue dots. And we can put this right at the bottom. And had I been thinking, I would have put the adhesive sheets on the back of these, but I wasn't. So you're just going to take a smidgen of glue and put it on. This is probably the most annoying part. I would definitely use adhesive sheets. Perfect. Last one, and then we'll put the bow on. There we go. And I already tied the bow. Just add that with a mini glue dots. And there you go. Super cute, right? A little bit different, but I love all of the little splatter on top. So this one is Summer Splash, and this one is Petunia Pop. So which one is your favorite so far? Hopefully we have enough time. I think we should. Oh yeah, it's only 7:15. Let's do the Pretty in Pink. I do need to run and grab my cleaner because I did not bring it with me. And I don't want to cross-contaminate my inks. So let me clean them really quick. Okay, so let's do this color. Let's stamp. Well, I actually might need to re-ink this one. It's looking a little slim on ink. Oh, it'll be okay, I think. Let's grab our paper. Do a little stamping. So just randomly stamp this across the top. You don't need to do underneath because we're putting the designer series paper on it. So you won't even see it. But I definitely like it better doing this before you attach your entire card together. But I didn't realize I was going to want it. So do a little bit more than half, I guess, just to make sure. Perfect. Let's glue our cardstock or our designer series paper down. And you could really use any of our designer series paper to do this card. And you could change up the colors. It doesn't have to be the colors that I picked. It looks like that's a smidgen big, so I'm going to trim that with my scissors. There we go. Okay, ribbon. And if you noticed, I did not put a mini glue dot in the center of the ribbon like I usually do, only because we glued down that crumb cake layer and it was going to hold it just fine. If we didn't have something on top, I would have definitely put a mini glue dot under there just to hold it. Okay, so there's that. Let's attach our sucker sticks. Hello, Mary. Sorry, I just looked over at my computer and I saw you logged on and said hi. I don't know why my iPad isn't telling me when people comment. Okay. And don't forget, don't glue this piece down before you put the popsicle sticks on, because you got to cut these layers off. Got to cut the backing off. And don't forget, today or tomorrow is the very last day to do the join special. You can either pick $99 worth of product for $35, or you can get $189 in product for $99. So it is definitely an amazing promotion. Even if you are just you don't know if you want to do anything with Stampin' Up, you can try it and you don't ever have to do anything. And you do not get bombarded from me. I'm actually kind of fun. Hopefully. I think I am. My events are fun. My retreats are a blast. My card classes are fun. If you've ever been to one of my events, you can leave a little comment. So people do know that I host things. Okay, almost done fussy cutting. I probably should have did these earlier instead of yakking on my phone. Actually, I wasn't talking, I was texting. I should have probably fussy cut these first. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to set this down at the bottom just so I have a guide of where I want to glue this. Try not to drop it on your project. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to add our sentiments. And all we have to do is add the sucker pieces and our bow. And then our second one is done. So this, if you're just logging on, the 3 colors I used is Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, and Summer Splash. I just wanted something whimsical. One year we had a whimsical Christmas tree and designer series paper. The entire thing matched and it was amazing. And I did my entire Christmas cards in pink. Is anybody shocked? Good thing my husband doesn't care. This year's Christmas cards are kind of pink. Just a smidgen pink. Okay. Last one. Aw, thank you, Debbie. Yes, she does come from New York for them. Okay. There we go. Let's bring them all back in. So I have, this one is Pretty in Pink. Let me get all this out of the way. Let me see how far, if I can get all of them in. That one's Pretty in Pink. This one is Summer Splash. And this one is Petunia Pop. So look how many fun colors you could do. I wonder if this could be even a birthday card. I don't know. Are these guys really super Christmassy? I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me. That would make an absolutely gorgeous birthday card. So yeah, just obviously change the sentiments. So hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's live. I did not put a piece of basic white on the inside. It is light enough, so I didn't feel we needed it, but you definitely can if you want to. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's live, and I was close on time. I try to do less than 30 minutes, and I think we have a couple minutes to spare. So I will be back on Tuesday for another live. I think I have one spot left for Saturday's card class. So if anybody is interested, Debbie, if you'd like to fly down for a card class, you are more than welcome to. Or anybody, for that matter. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see many of you guys on Saturday and then the rest on Tuesday for another live. Chat with you soon. Bye-bye.